matches in modern football history change the emotional temperature of a rivalry the way this one did. Rivalries between clubs like and are never calm. They are political, cultural, historical. But sometimes, one night turns competitive tension into something personal. For many Barcelona supporters, that turning point came not simply because Cristiano Ronaldo scored, but because of how, where, and when he did it. To understand that night, you first have to understand the context. Ronaldo's arrival at Real Madrid in 2009 was more than a transfer. It was a statement. Madrid had watched Barcelona rise under Pep Guardiola. They had seen the brilliance of Lionel Messi. They had watched Barcelona dominate Spanish football with style and control. Real Madrid responded with ambition, and Ronaldo was the centerpiece. From the very beginning, he represented resistance to Barcelona's dominance. He wasn't just another opponent. He was the symbol of Madrid's counterattack. Early Clásicos were intense and painful for Madrid. Barcelona delivered heavy defeats, including a humiliating 5-0 at Camp Nou in 2010. For Barcelona fans, those matches reinforced superiority. Ronaldo was seen as talented, yes, but overshadowed. Then came April 2011. A Copa del Rey final between Barcelona and Real Madrid. A neutral venue, but emotionally charged. The rivalry had reached boiling point. Barcelona were considered favorites. They were European champions. They were stylistically admired across the continent. The match was tense, tactical, physical. Neither side wanted to blink first. As the game moved into extra time, the margin for error disappeared. And then it happened. In the 103rd minute, Ángel Di María broke down the flank and delivered a cross. Cristiano Ronaldo rose between defenders and met the ball with a towering header. The ball flew past the goalkeeper. Silence, then eruption. Real Madrid led, but it wasn't just the goal. It was the image. Ronaldo soaring above Barcelona's defense. Arms stretched wide in celebration. Confidence radiating. Madrid went on to win the final. For Barcelona fans, that moment hurt deeply. Not because losing a final was unfamiliar, but because it symbolized a shift. Ronaldo had not only scored, he had dominated physically and mentally in a decisive moment. That header wasn't a random goal in a league fixture. It was a trophy-winning strike in a final against their fiercest rival. And it was the beginning of something. The rivalry intensified further in the Champions League semi-finals that same season. Tensions exploded, red cards, controversy, tactical battles between Mourinho and Guardiola. Ronaldo scored a decisive penalty in the league that year at Camp Nou, silencing the stadium. He stood composed while thousands whistled. But perhaps the most iconic moment that solidified Barcelona fans' dislike came in 2012. Camp Nou, La Liga title race. Barcelona needed a result to stay alive in the title chase. The stadium was electric. Every touch by a Madrid player was booed. Ronaldo scored the decisive goal late in the match. He ran toward the Barcelona supporters and placed his finger to his lips. Silence. That celebration became an image frozen in rivalry history. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't theatrical. It was controlled, confident, almost cold. For Barcelona fans, that gesture felt personal. Football supporters value emotion, but they also remember humiliation. And being silenced in your own stadium during a title race by your greatest rival is not easily forgotten. From that point forward, Ronaldo was no longer just Madrid's star. He was the antagonist. Each Clásico carried extra tension. Every touch amplified, every celebration scrutinized. Barcelona supporters whistled louder. Chants intensified. Debates raged across Spain and Europe. Ronaldo, for his part, did not shrink. If anything, he seemed to thrive in hostility. He understood the theater of rivalry. The more intense the environment, the sharper his focus appeared. Over the years, he scored repeatedly against Barcelona. League goals, Champions League goals, cup goals, each one reinforced the narrative. And yet, it wasn't hatred in a simplistic sense. Rivalries at this level are complex. Barcelona fans respected his ability, even as they resented his impact. He was the embodiment of Madrid's resilience during one of Barcelona's golden eras. When Barcelona were at their stylistic peak under Guardiola, Ronaldo refused to disappear. Instead, he elevated his game. He pushed himself to match Messi's numbers. He transformed Clásicos into personal duels of excellence. The match that sparked the dislike wasn't about one incident alone. It was about symbolism. The 2011 Copa del Rey final showed he could take a trophy from them. The 2012 Camp Nou celebration showed he could silence them. And multiple Champions League battles reinforced his presence. For Barcelona supporters, Ronaldo represented interruption. Interruption of dominance. Interruption of narrative. Interruption of comfort. He forced them to look across the pitch and see someone who would not accept second place. But here's the deeper layer: rivalries are fueled by greatness. Barcelona fans disliked Ronaldo because he mattered. Because he delivered in decisive moments. Because he refused to fade under pressure. In many ways, his presence elevated the rivalry to historic levels. The Messi-Ronaldo era transformed Spanish football into the center of global attention. Every Clásico felt monumental. Every goal felt historic. Dislike became part of the spectacle. And yet, even in tension, there was mutual recognition of quality. Football culture in Spain understands excellence. Even opponents are acknowledged, even if grudgingly. When Ronaldo eventually left Spain, something changed. The rivalry remained, but a certain electricity faded. The individual duel that defined a generation moved elsewhere. Looking back, that Copa del Rey header in 2011 feels like a hinge moment. It was proof that Barcelona's dominance would be challenged. That Madrid had found a leader willing to confront them head-on. For Barcelona fans, it was the night realization dawned: this rivalry had a new protagonist. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't ask to be liked at Camp Nou. He asked to win there. And he did. That is what sparked the emotion. That is what turned competition into personal rivalry. And that is why those matches remain etched into European football history, not just for trophies won or goals scored, but for the way they reshaped one of the greatest rivalries the sport has ever seen.